Is it submitted yet?
Yeah, yeah, done. That's it.
Right. Y Combinator application submitted. How are you feeling, Kirk?
Unsure.
Do you reckon we'll get it?
Bearing in mind we did the application and submitted it on deadline day. People have been working for months on this. Possibly.
We'll see. If you see Kirk boarding a private jet, it means we got it. Cool, so you would have seen at the start of this video like a few work bits, right? And I thought I'd go into a bit more detail about the business stuff that's going on, or the businesses that I have. I've never really opened that up. So anyway, I thought I'll jot it down on the whiteboard because some of this is like a thinking exercise for me too. So let me show you the situation I'm in. Currently have 4 businesses, okay? So I'll do a grid like this to show you the 4. I hope you can see that. So the 4 businesses are the main one, which is the office I'm in now, which is Skyline Fire Stopping Limited, right? So Skyline Fire Stopping is a passive fire protection company that I've been the director of for about 5 years now. We've got a team of about 6 people. That's essentially what we do. We're in the construction sector. We work with developers and we make their buildings fire safe, right? So we're in and around London, but essentially Skyline is it was my first successful business and it's my main breadwinning business now, right? The big issues with Skyline are the costs of running it. Running Skyline costs a fortune. There's certification costs, insurances, payroll, because I have a team, the cost of vans, tax, and all the associated costs that go with all that stuff. It costs a fortune, right? As well as like health and safety stuff, it's just constantly requires money. The second big problem with a business like Skyline is that people do not pay on time. Typically in the construction world, it's 30-day payment terms. So if I do 10 grand's worth of work for you, then you pay me in 30 days. But in the meantime, I've still got to buy all the materials, pay the team, run the vans, everything else. So you're always kind of behind. And it's something that we've tried to get in ahead of with upfront costs and stuff like that, but people just don't like paying it. And then on top of that, customers do not pay on time. They just don't pay on time. At the moment, they owe us, I think, like 15 or 20 grand. And they're 44 days or 55 days late. They're 55 days over the original 30 days. It's just, people take the piss, right? So I've started introducing new measures to quell that, like, adding interest, like discounts on early payments and stuff like that. But anyway, Skyline has been the main business for a length of time. The other business, which you've heard me talk about more, is Life Coach AI. So Life Coach AI is essentially a startup, a tech startup. It's an AI coaching app. We're still in the early stages. We're going out to the beta testing now, and we're pre-seed investment basically. It's the first time I've been involved in a startup. It's really exciting. It's a great thing. I could talk more about it at length, but essentially that's another business. That's another place where my time goes. Another business that I've got is called 4 Strings Property Limited. I've got a partner in that. His name's Harry. Shout out Harry. Basically what we do is we buy and refurbish and let properties. We convert into HMOs. We do all sorts of stuff, right? We're actually taking on investment in 4 Strings now. We've got our first couple of investors in, and we're making them money as well. So it's quite exciting what we're doing there. And then the 4th business is Tom Ford Coaching Limited. I started Tom Ford Coaching Limited after I trained as a ICF certified life coach, and the plan was to do one-to-one coaching, right? And I did it I did some one-to-one coaching, and then I was like, this is just too hard to do, like scheduling wise and all that sort of stuff. I actually ended up moving it to like a kind of like a group model and doing my masterminds and stuff like that. And doing speaking events and stuff. Now I have a business model around the Tom Ford coaching thing, with the content that I create, the book that I'm working on, the masterminds and the in-person workshop stuff, and then it was going to be the one-to-one coaching or going into corporates and talking, like doing presentations, like doing public speaking, which I've done a little bit of, and I really enjoy. So this business is less of a moneymaker and more of a creative pursuit, if you like. So you can see what we've got here is kind of like a Skyline makes cash, 4 Strings multiplies cash, Tom Ford Coaching builds an audience, Life Coach AI essentially is like for the audience. So, and the big issue I've had is that these 4 businesses were kind of pulling me in different directions. And I had to try and figure out a way to vertically integrate them, or this is kind of the point I'm at now. I'm kind of like, these businesses are pulling me in different directions, what do I do? So the first thing I've decided to do, make a decision based on where my time is best suited, right? Hands down, the most scalable, most promising business of these 4 is Life Coach AI, right? The startup. It's going to take the most time, but it has the most potential. It potentially is the most high impact, because Life Coach AI is essentially looking at disrupting the coaching model and democratizing coaching. Like, that's a big ambition, right? So that's the big mission. But I spend most of my time in Skyline because that's the business that requires, it's time intensive. I'm always getting phone calls, emails. I mean, hundreds of emails a day, like countless phone calls a day, all that kind of stuff. So here's what I'm doing. So, and then obviously you've got these other 2 businesses, 4 Strings. I've got Harry in 4 Strings, you know, it doesn't require a huge amount from me. And then the coaching thing, you know, I mean, I do a lot. I'm creative in that, but essentially it's never going to make a huge amount of money. It's more of a creative thing that I enjoy doing. So here's my plan. You can see how these businesses are kind of integrated with each other. Skyline serves 4 Strings, and 4 Strings kind of serves Skyline in a weird way. And obviously Life Coach AI and the Tom Ford Coaching thing is they're kind of synergistic as well. So my plan is, I've got a great team within Skyline. So my plan is to essentially build the systems within Skyline so that I don't need to be in it anymore. There's nothing that I do that my team can't do, right? So essentially I'm gonna remove myself from Skyline. And I'm going to do my plan is to do 1 day a week, right? So remove myself from Skyline, and I'm going to essentially, my plan is to blend the 2 teams from Skyline and 4 Strings. So these 2 are kind of working with each other like this. So they're much more like vertically integrated. Now they'll still be separate companies, but essentially I think they could serve one another. Some of the guys in Skyline have an interest in property, so it kind of like works. There's something there, haven't quite figured it out, but bear with me. And then that leaves me essentially more time to focus on Life Coach AI and my coaching thing. Now these 2 essentially go hand in hand, because what am I doing with the coaching thing is I'm producing content and I'm building an audience, right? And I'm developing my skills as a coach. Now I'm not making money doing this, but what I'm doing is I'm sharpening my skills, right? At like talking, developing my message, all of this kind of stuff. And I think one problem that a lot of people have in business is that they're constantly trying to make money. And if you're constantly just trying to make money, then you're not creating something meaningful. So I've tried not to fall into that trap. And funnily enough, I've invested a lot of time and effort and money into developing my skills, upskilling myself, making myself a better communicator, able to talk better. Like, for example, writing a book and releasing it, knowing that I'm not going to make any money on it, but I'll make something else, which is like I'll create more authority in the area, like all this sort of, like, I'm upskilling myself, you know, so people are like, oh, he's written a book, and you know, and also as I'm doing it, I know I'm getting better at what I'm doing. So when I first learned to be a coach, I was okay, I did all the training, but what sets me apart from other coaches is all the other stuff I've done, all the public speaking stuff I've done, all the book I've written, the masterminds I've done, where I've honed this system and gotten results out of other people and all this sort of stuff. That's what gives you an edge, right? So that's essentially that. And Life Coach AI is really where I want to put my effort and input, but it's tricky because it's not making money. So I have to use this system to generate the money so that I can do this, if that makes sense. Essentially, that's what I'm going to do now. Like, I'm planning on upping all my content creation, honing my message like even more, not just for my audience, but for myself, right? Because you'll have noticed, if you're watching this video, there's probably very few views on it. And I think I have like 200, like less than 300 subscribers on YouTube. You know, that's very small. Like, and on Instagram, for example, I've been posting like regularly, and I really really work hard on that. I have less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. So, but the point is, it's not just about having like a lot of likes and a lot of views and all this sort of stuff. This stuff is very, very like secondary. You know, it's not that important. What's more important is that I'm developing the skills that I need to make this stuff successful. So essentially that is what I'm doing. I really believe in Life Coach AI. You know, I think it's an amazing like application. And I think it's going to really help people, but I have to obviously build the business around it, right? I have to build marketing and sales funnels and all this kind of stuff, and that's what I'm going to be doing more. So I'm gonna start doing more than one video a week. I'm going to start doing carry on doing my sort of like experimental vlog ones and all this sort of stuff, but I'm also going to start doing like my business stuff once a week as well, and showing you like behind the brand, almost like in the building of this thing, like the Founders series or whatever. I'm going to come up with a name for all that. You'll see it, but that's essentially the businesses right now. So I'm in the process of following this path, right? Coming out of Skyline via the other businesses so that I can eventually end up here. Hopefully, Life Coach AI will get some sort of seed investment, and then I can do it full time, guilt free. But I've put the team in place to run the other businesses, so that's fine. And I can dip in and out of these. It's cool, and I actually like doing that. I like having multiple things going on, but not to the point where it's overwhelming. But that's just drawing the curtain back on the businesses a little bit. You know, they're not all money makers, but I'm building businesses here. I'm not just like trying to make money. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to build businesses, trying to build systems, and trying to build jobs and roles for other people other than myself, right? Because that's the creative element of business that I don't think you'll see a lot of people talking about. I think you'll see a lot of people, business people or entrepreneurs, talking about the creative element of starting a business, which is you're creating something out of nothing. If you can create jobs for other people, you're creating. Like, if you can create a business that people work for and get something from, you're being creative. It's not just about lining your pockets, and it can't just be about lining your pockets. That's essentially what I'm doing. I'm trying to take you with me as best as I can, because I think it's like an interesting, I like looking back on these videos anyway. So not that I like watching myself, but I like looking back on what I've done. Anyway, I've rambled on for 15 minutes, but those are the businesses: Skyline, 4 Strings, Tom Ford Coaching, and Life Coach AI. All are funneling me towards Life Coach AI, to be honest. That's where I'm planning on spending 80% of my time. Really want to build that startup, really want to make it something special. If you have any questions about any of this, let me know. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, make sure you're subscribed, and leave a comment if you want to. I'm I need help with the series. Like, so I'm going to do this, I'm really going to document the building of Life Coach AI. So I need a name for that series. If you've got any ideas, drop them in the comment box. If you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do. It's Tom Ford Online. And I have a new web landing page now, which I'll link below as well. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that yet. I'm still building everything out in real time, so bear with me. But essentially, this is the point that most entrepreneurs won't show you. They won't show you the early stages. They won't show you where all I'm dealing with now is headaches, like not making money and stuff. So in fact, I'm spending money like a madman at the moment, completing on 2 properties at the moment, obviously investing loads of money back into Skyline, so investing money into Life Coach AI. So there's more spending going on right now than there is reaping the rewards, but we're going to get there. So anyway, make sure you like the video, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.